Well, I have something to say to close that is probably unexpected to you. This is one of the best interviews I've done. Leader, I want to promote people who are excited and want to work here. In other words, if I have a choice between two roughly equally skilled people, but one of them seems unhappy and one of them seems to love the company and love their work, it's an easy choice.
Right, you quit the VP job. Can I ask why? And what's your kind of life choice, career choice, and your thinking behind it?
People like you and many people that listen to you, they want to improve and their company's not offering them any help. So since I couldn't do that inside Amazon, I do it from outside Amazon. I love doing that work. And so I'm actually much happier. And that offsets the fact that, yes, occasionally I miss the fact as a vice president at Amazon, I could call almost anyone in the world and they would pick up the phone. The people are taught to break down problems into pieces and, break them down, understand the clip and build back up. We're very good at that. And you can use that in almost any domain. You can use that in how to structure a team, how to organize a team. You can use it in how to understand a business. You can even use it in influence, where when you're trying to influence somebody, there's still a system of things that they're likely to care about. And you can step back and basically say, what is this person's API? What is their current state? And what are their concerns? So there's an engineering analogy for many skills you need in other domains that can make engineers more comfortable of like, oh, okay, I kind of know how to do this. I just have to change domains.
And for the engineers who want to do influence, I have a friend on my show with a great framework of influence without authority. Basically, two things. One, there are 4 stages of listening for comprehension, appreciation, empathy, and evaluation. People make the mistake of jumping to number 4 too quickly. So you need to do first 3. And the second is people are mostly, they are most likely to be influenced if they think it's their idea. So go in, ask questions, and if you have an answer, you don't have to be the one providing an answer. If they can think about the problem, if they feel the problem is important, and if they can come up with the solution on their own, you get your goal.
Absolutely. I love that. Both those frameworks are very smart. Your friend is very astute. And here's the thing, no matter how smart something I say is, no matter how right it is, if I convince you of something, it still began as my idea. And you'll never have the same level of ownership of my idea as you'll have over your own conclusions. And so the more it can help you reach those conclusions on your own, the more you'll be bought into them. And the more you'll actually, importantly, be excited about them. Which, by the way, you were asking, what's one of the things that leads to promotion? And you talked about how people today don't necessarily like their work. We haven't talked about that much yet. Finding things that help people be excited about their work, which includes most people are much more excited to work on an idea they came up with than they are to work on an idea they were assigned. And so if you want your engineers to be excited, you try and help them find their own reasons to come up with the ideas. And as a leader, I want to promote people who are excited and want to work here. In other words, if I have a choice between two roughly equally skilled people, but one of them seems unhappy and one of them seems to love the company and love their work, it's an easy choice because I'm worried the unhappy person will quit or that they'll get more unhappy and be angry. I would much rather promote someone slightly less able who loves the company or loves the work, because I believe that enthusiasm is valuable, that passion.
Nice. I think there are so many questions I still want to ask for the question number 1, but I do want to get to question number 2 a little bit, and hopefully in the future I can invite you back and deep dive more into this. So the second thing, and you are a great example of this, right? You quit the VP job. Can I ask why? And what's your kind of life choice, career choice, and your thinking behind it?
Yeah. So I left Amazon specifically because I don't feel I think Amazon is a great company. They made my career and they gave me enough money over the time I worked there that I don't technically need to work. So it's a very easy, one thing that made it easy to leave is I could just stop working completely if I wanted to. But the second reason I didn't stop working is, as much as I admire Amazon, I don't think Amazon does a very good job of developing its employees. Amazon's development strategy is roughly, we give you a challenging project and we let you work on it and you'll learn in the process. There's not very much teaching. There's not very much support. I don't feel.
If I interrupt, is it
Sure.
possible? Like because I went to like three companies, big tech companies, right? And none of them are good at this. And I feel like it's inevitable because if you spend a lot of resource into developing employees, the ROI is not there because you are gonna to train it for another company in a lot of time. So
That is
is
that
it?
is the fear and the belief. If you
Mhm.
actually look at the data,
Mm,
people who feel that they're growing in a company are much more likely to stay. People who feel that they're getting investment or training. So I think that ROI fear is overplayed, and it's overplayed because it does happen in some cases. People complete a course or they learn a new skill and they immediately go somewhere else, and that's a very painful thing. And so people overemphasize, they over
mm,
remember the one person who left
that's
statistically.
true. Yeah.
Second, the second thing that happens that companies fear and it is illogical is, let's say I teach you a new skill or I put you through a class and I develop your abilities. Well, now you're worth more. But what happens that I experience as a negative is you come and ask to be promoted or ask for a raise. Well, logically, I should actually be happy because we've just gotten done making you more valuable. So, of course, we should want to pay you more because you're actually more valuable. But we want emotionally to have this deal where we make you more valuable and you're happy to work for what you were. I think you're absolutely right. Why it's not just Amazon, it's lots of companies that don't invest in development. And I don't have a lot of hope for that changing.
Mm.
But I decided I would go work on the problem externally. I would go provide the
Oh,
education externally because I see the need for it. Because, see, people like you and many people that listen to you, they want to improve and their company's not offering them any help. So, since I couldn't do that inside Amazon, I do it from outside Amazon for people at
oh, cool.
Amazon and at lots of companies. And basically, there's lots of high performers who want to get better and they don't know how, or there's no one
Yeah.
helping them. And so, to answer your question about why I left to work on that problem.
Nice. And I summarize this as the craft. The craft is different than science because science you need a falsifiable statement and you need to be able to summarize that into knowledge. But crafts, you cannot know. I know this works, but I cannot prove to you why this works. Craft is different than ours because ours is about expression. There's no right or wrong, but crafts, there's a standard. But to learn crafts, the best way is to learn from people. It's not to learn from textbooks. So yeah, companies do not have the incentive to do this, and universities cannot teach them. I guess it has to be through people like you to willing to do this.
I love that. It's a great summary. You have a future as a marketer.
I do feel like that is. I do find I'm more successful when I do more marketing things because I think about this kind of things.
Yeah, well, I like the idea that part of what I'm doing, it fits. I'm trying to teach people the craft of influence, relationships, leadership skills. Leadership is a craft. There is some science behind it, but the practice of it is a craft that you hone. And a common thing I talk about is almost no managers are trained as managers. They were trained as engineers or doctors or lawyers or marketers or product managers or artists, and then they get put in management roles with no training. And so they learn the craft on the job. This is incredibly painful to companies because 70% of people who leave a job leave because of some conflict with their manager. And so putting untrained people into management has a huge cost, but because companies don't want to invest in training for fear that they're training someone to go somewhere else, they're caught in this catch-22 where what they're doing they know is bad, but they don't know what else to do. And they're afraid to have a big investment in leadership training. For example, just yesterday, I was at Amazon doing a leadership training, and the people who won the course told me that the members of the class were the top 0.2% of their division. So 2 out of every 10,000 people were being selected. Ridiculously, I would argue, uselessly narrow. It's great for the people in that class, but
Like
in
a
terms,
selection. Yeah.
but that even if those people come out miraculously better, it's too few to change your overall trajectory.
Yeah.
What about the top 5%? What about the top 10%? Which clearly would be hundreds or thousands of people in a division this size. Yeah, anyway, those are the problems I'm working on, is how do I train the 10,000 people, raise everyone's performance? Because all of us have had bad managers.
Mm-hmm.
And bad, by the way, doesn't mean they were a nasty person, but that they just were unskilled.
Yeah, almost like putting a kindergarten to solve some hard problem. And the hard problem has real consequences on people.
Right.
Yep. And I know we only have like a minute left, and but I still want to get the one last piece of
Sure, please.
To be able to work on something you like also means you don't have a high value association with the Amazon VP job, the title, because some people are stuck in there because they feel this is my identity, this is my whole life. How do you overcome that?
Well, the first thing I would say is, honestly, there will be some pain associated with leaving behind the big platform and the title. I struggled for a long time how to describe myself, because I can either say I'm retired or I can say I'm self-employed. And neither of those, those are more accurate descriptions. Neither of them carries the gravitas of saying, okay, I'm a vice president of this or that at Amazon. And so there will be some emotional pain with that. For me, it was being clear on what's my mission, being clear on the way you have to decide what is it you want. That, to your point, many people aren't happy doing their work. I liked what I did at Amazon, but I love what I do today. I'm much, much happier talking to you. And then the rest of my day today is coaching executives, and part of my work this weekend will be writing a book, part of a book. I love doing that work. And so I'm actually much happier. And that offsets the fact that, yes, occasionally I miss the fact, as a vice president at Amazon, I could call almost anyone in the world and they would pick up the phone, right? Like, oh, it's Amazon calling, I better talk to them. I've lost that asset because the platform gave me an asset. So you do have to decide what's going to make you truly happy.
Nice. Thank you. And thank you very much for the time. There's so many great insights from this. And I hope we can connect in the future as well.
Well, I have something to say to close that is probably unexpected to you. This is one of the best interviews I've done. I do lots of podcasts, and I don't want to insult any other podcasters, but your ability to hear what I'm saying related to other things people have told you, synthesize it and summarize it for your audience is really strong. And so I would be happy to come back and keep talking to you, because frankly, you take what I'm sharing and make it better for your audience, and not everyone does that as effectively. So keep up your good work. And everyone that listens to you should keep listening, because you do a great job crystallizing the value of the interviews.
Thank you. That means a lot to me. Thank you very much.
All right. I hope to see you again soon.
Yeah, likewise.